The day I got the call from the hospital, I thought it was a prank. The nurse said, "Mr. Harris, your wife has been admitted after a car accident." My heart sank. I rushed there, hands shaking, head full of images of Emily, my wife of 12 years, broken, bleeding, fighting for her life. But when I walked into that sterile room and saw her hooked up to machines, the truth hit harder than any car ever could. She wasn't alone. On the next bed lay another man, beaten up from the same crash. Her lover, the one she'd risked everything for. I stood at the doorway, numb. She noticed me, panic flashing across her pale face. "David, I can explain," she whispered, voice weak, but I wasn't listening. The nurse had already said the words. They were brought in together from the accident scene. Apparently, they were in the same car. My wife, the woman who promised me loyalty, dignity, partnership, lying broken because she was with another man. At that moment, I felt no rage. No urge to scream. Just an icy calm that chilled me to my bones. I didn't yell, didn't demand answers. I just stared at her. The silence crushed her more than words ever could. She wanted a reaction. I gave her nothing. In the days that followed, she begged for my forgiveness. She claimed it was a mistake, that she was confused, that it meant nothing. But the way she had clutched that man's hand in the ER betrayed her words. My love for her died that night in the hospital, but I didn't show it. Instead, I visited her, took care of her bills, even smiled like a supportive husband. I let her think she had time, that there was still hope. All the while I was planning. Emily had built a fragile little empire on my back. She owned a boutique business, funded entirely by my money, my contacts, my late nights at the firm. She had friends, social circles, a reputation as the perfect wife with the perfect life. And she thought her affair would stay hidden in whispers, covered up by lies and charm. But she underestimated me. First, I pulled the financial strings. Quietly, without a word, I moved funds out of the joint accounts. I froze the business credit card I'd co-signed. Her boutique, once buzzing with glamour, began to feel the strain. Suppliers stopped shipping when invoices went unpaid. Employees started to whisper. I made sure she never saw it coming. Second, I reached out to the other man's wife. Sarah, a woman blindsided just like me, who had no idea her husband was sneaking off with mine. We met for coffee, and as we compared notes, the puzzle completed itself. Weekend business trips, late-night emergencies, secret dinners. Sarah's hands shook as she scrolled through messages, tears dripping on the table. "We'll destroy them," she said through clenched teeth. And I simply nodded. Then came the social unraveling. Emily prided herself on her reputation. Charity events, gala nights, Instagram-perfect smiles. So I fed the right details to the right people. Quiet whispers at parties. Anonymous tips to gossip circles. Pictures Sarah had of her husband's car parked outside a hotel, while my wife was inside with him. Within weeks, Emily was no longer the polished queen of her circle. She was the scandal everyone dissected over champagne. I didn't stop there. While she was still in recovery, I served her divorce papers. The look on her face when she opened the envelope, a mix of shock, shame, and dawning horror, was the only closure I needed. "David, please, we can fix this," she cried, clutching my hand. I pulled away gently, coldly. "You fixed yourself into a corner, Emily." She thought I'd just walk away quietly. But I wanted her to feel everything she made me feel. The humiliation, the betrayal, the emptiness. So when the court hearings began, I played every card. Proof of her affair. Testimonies from Sarah. Bank records showing my sole funding of her business. The judge saw through her tears and excuses. The boutique was dissolved, assets split, most of them reverting to me, since I'd funded it all. She walked out of that courtroom not just divorced, but ruined. The final blow came a month later. I sent her a photo. It was of Sarah and me, smiling at a cafe. No romance, just alliance. But Emily's imagination didn't care. She called me screaming, accusing me of betrayal, of cruelty. I just listened, calm as ever, before hanging up. The truth? I didn't need revenge in the form of another woman. My revenge was watching her lose everything she thought she controlled. The man she risked it all for had left her too. Sarah made sure of that. He was gone, she was alone, and the world she built on lies had crumbled. Now, months later, I sometimes pass by her old boutique. The sign is gone, the window's empty, a for lease banner hanging like a tombstone. People who once called her glamorous now avoid her like a bad rumor. She lives quietly in a small rented apartment, far from the glitzy neighborhood we once called home. And me? I sit back in peace. Not because I still love her. Those feelings died the night she betrayed me. But because I took back my dignity, my life, and left her with the wreckage of her own making. She put herself in that hospital bed with her choices. All I did was sit back and let her crash the rest of her life. Because sometimes the coldest revenge isn't shouting or fighting. It's silence. It's patience. It's letting someone's lies bury them while you walk away free.